I'm going to take you through a series of balance exercises. These exercises are all tried and tested and proven to help improve balance if we do them every day. But for more information on falls prevention, you can go to www.hertfordshire.gov.uk. Now, these exercises, it's really important we've got a safe space around us when we're doing them. You need a good sturdy chair, table, kitchen worktop, something like that, and make sure that there's nothing that you could fall on. If you did happen to fall, you need to make sure there's no sharp edges, glass tables, etc. that you could fall on. So do make sure there's a safe space. Now, all of these exercises are exaggerating things we do in everyday life, so they make activities of daily living so much easier. Now do make sure you've got some proper footwear, no flip-floppy shoes on when you do this. And when you do them, you don't need to do them all in one go. You can spread them out through the day. So you may do some when you're in the bathroom at the sink, some at the kitchen worktop, some when you're at your dining table. Just whenever you think to do them, do some through the day. Some are more challenging than others. So on some, you may need to hold on with all of your fingers. Now we don't want to hold on so much that we're not moving, but we want to hold on to stop us falling over. If we stop ourselves moving, it won't really help our balance. On some, you may be able to have just 3 fingers or your chopsticks. You may just have 1 finger. On some, it's not that challenging. You may not need to hold on at all. So stay safe, but don't try to stop yourself moving, because we want our brain to correct us when we're wobbling. So I'm going to start off on the least challenging of them. And this is a knee bend. Now, even if you've got bad knees, we're not going very low on this. Our feet are hip to shoulder width apart. Now, on these exercises, the wider the feet, the less challenging it will be. So if they're too easy for you, if it's not challenging you, obviously less fingers on your support, or bring your feet a bit closer together. Okay, so your support will be in front of you, eyes are forward, chin stays parallel to the floor, and we just do a little knee bend. Now it's important our knees stay behind our toes, and we're not going low, we're just bending the knees. So like I say, if you want to make it more challenging, bring those feet in a bit closer together. Now whenever we exercise, we should be breathing nice and easily, not holding our breath. It should feel quite natural. Okay, one more knee bend, and up we come. Okay, the next one, we're going to balance on our tiptoes, so it is quite a bit more challenging on this one. You may need a few more fingers on the support. So we're going to lift the heel. If you feel like you're getting cramp, step back and push the heel down to stretch the calf out immediately. No one likes cramp, it's a horrible feeling. So shoulders over our hips, hips over the ankles, and we just gently lift the heels up. Really press into the big toes so the feet don't fall out to the side. Now once you feel steady, see if you can have less fingers. So if you've got 4, go to 3. If you've got 3, go to 2. Make sure you're not leaning into your support, but up nice and tall. So this helps with things like going on our tiptoes to reach up into a cupboard. So you could even add that reach while you're on your toes. You can even reach up. If you don't need to hold, try 2 hands, but make sure if you're doing 2 hands that you're not arching your back. Now really focus your eyes on a spot ahead of you when you do these exercises. It really does help you to balance. And gently lower the heels back down. Brilliant. Now we're going to do the opposite, stand on our heels next. We're going to lift the toes. It's quite an unnatural position, and if we lose balance, we're going to go backwards. Now it's no good if you've just got a chair and you start falling, you'll take the chair with you. So it's important that if you feel you're starting to go, obviously your toes will go down, but be ready to step back and make sure there's nothing behind you that you could land on. So this is really quite a challenging exercise, this one. So hips tucked under, shoulders over the hips, and we'll lift our toes up. So eyes looking ahead. Now keep breathing nice and evenly. Now see if you can have just a slight bit of tension in your abdominals, in your tummy muscles. It helps to hold you much steadier. Can you do a few less fingers? Remember, we want it to challenge us. If it's too easy, our balance won't improve very much. And bring the toes down. Now, it's not like we're going to go around with our toes up off the floor, but if you can stand with your toes off the floor, if you're standing when your toes are down, it's going to be so much easier. And when we walk, we're picking one foot up, we're lifting the toes and lowering them. So it's a really good balance practice. Now, we're going to stand on a tightrope next. If you can't manage tightrope, imagine you've got a plank. So you're going to try and get one foot directly in front of the other. Have your support beside you or in front of you. Maybe even a chair each side for some of these exercises. If you can't get it directly in front, just a narrower than normal stance will still challenge you. So we're going to hold it for 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7. Can you hold on a bit less? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you may want to hold on while you change the feet around. It's always important we do both sides because one side may be a lot easier than the other side. So try the other side. May feel quite different. 1, 2, 3. Keep the weight equal in each foot. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on if you need to. Bring it back. Give the knees a little shake out. Okay, we're going to do a one leg stand. Now if you've got a bad hip or bad back, you may not be able to get your foot completely off the floor, but you may be able to keep your toes on the floor and give you a bit of a challenge. So have your support at the side or in front of you. Your supporting knee is soft, and then either have the toes down. You may be able to tap the foot every now and again. If you can, try and get that foot up off of the floor. But this supporting knee is always soft. We don't lock it out. We don't want to put pressure on our kneecap. So that knee stays nice and soft. Really focus your eyes. Keep breathing nice and evenly. And bring it down. You're probably thinking, why do I need to practice standing on one leg? But when we walk, we take a step. We're on one leg as we bring the back leg to the front. So if you can balance on one leg like that, makes it so much easier when we walk. Okay, we're going to swap legs. So the other one is the supporting leg. Again, it may feel different each side. Soften that supporting knee. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it slowly down, shaking the knees out. Now we're going to add a bit of a challenge to it this time. So I'm going to make sure my support is beside my supporting leg. We're going to do a flamingo swing, or I like to call it a pendulum. It's a bit like the pendulum of a clock swinging. We swing from the hip while we're on one leg. So have your support next to your supporting leg, eyes forward, and we're going to swing that leg forward and backward from the hip. So the knee's slightly bent, otherwise our foot would get stuck on the floor. And we're not swinging from the knee. If you look at my knee, you'll notice my knee's not changing. The swing comes right up in the hip joint like a pendulum. Now lighten your hold on your table or chair. See if you can do it without as many fingers or no fingers. And make sure that leg's coming back as well as forwards. One more swing. And bring it down. Then we'll swap to the other leg. Now it's important when we turn that we turn towards our support. If we turn the other way and you trip, there's nothing to grab hold of. So always turn towards your support when you're turning round. So supporting knee is soft, and let's swing that leg forward and back. Remember, slight bend in the knee so we don't hit the floor. Keeping the body still. Now it's very tempting when we do this to try and counterbalance and to take the body forward as the leg comes back. So be really conscious of keeping the shoulder over the hip. One more swing and bring it down. So again, we're not going to stand there swinging a leg, but when we walk, we're on that one leg. So it's exaggerating when we're walking along. Now we're going to do an exercise with some movement to it this time. We're going to do a side step. I'm going to move my support because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Now how many steps you take is going to depend on how much room you've got. So we're going to step to the side. I don't want you to run out of support. You're going to pick the foot up, step it across. Now what we want to make sure is that we're not dragging those feet across. We're lifting the foot, stepping. So if you've only got a chair to hand, you may just do 1 or 2 steps. And again, we're not going to walk around like crabs, but when we're at the shops, we might be looking at the shelf, looking for what we need and taking a step or 2 sideways. If you want to make it more challenging, hold that foot off of the floor just slightly longer, just a few seconds longer. Or take a wider step. As long as it's not hurting your hips or your knees, take a little bit wider step as you go. And then come back to the centre. Now we're going to do a little walk on our tiptoes. Again, if you get cramp in your leg, step it back and stretch out that calf. Make sure you've got support. So if you can do this in your kitchen is ideal because we've usually got a reasonably long kitchen worktop and you can just keep going up and down the kitchen. Remember to turn into the support though when you turn around. So we lift the heels up, press down into those big toes and we step forward. Now not too quickly. And take a step. Remember, turn to the support. You may want to put the heels down as you turn around. And you can do a few lengths of your kitchen or a few lengths of your dining table. You can put the heels down, like I say, as you turn. And bring it down. Again, if you can walk on tiptoes, walking with your feet down normally will be so much easier. Okay, we're going to walk a tightrope for the next one. So we're going to try and get our feet closer together. So one foot in front of the other. Now if you can't get it directly in front, just go for that narrower than normal stance. Even if you bring it in 1/2 centimetre closer than you would normally walk, your brain's having to work on it a bit more. You may need to start off with a hand on a support. And over the weeks and the months of practicing, you hold on to your support much less as you go. And then turn, come back to the centre. So all of these exercises can be done in stationary and in walking. Like I say, they should be done every day to really get the benefit of them. And they'll all help with your normal activities of daily life. And don't forget to check out hertfordshire.gov.uk falls prevention page to help with all of your needs.